I enjoyed the chronology part of the last video quite a bit, so I decided to go back and go through it a little bit more methodically and share it. Here it is. Okay, we have chaotic debris, purple dawn, carbon nanoparticles in stratosphere, extended period of shadow under purple dawn, proto-Saturn, coldest climate Earth has ever known, darkest before creation in the mytho-historical record, Maydu cosmology, Hopi cosmology, Hawaiian cosmology, Hindu. Oh my goodness, look at that word. Oh yeah, that's that Hindu piece right here. Brihad, Dharanaka, Umprasad. There's a mouthful. Illustrated bark books of Mesoamerica. Maori cosmology. Maori cosmology. Hebrew Genesis 1:2. The earth had become a desolate ruin. Zohar and Psalm 18:12, Psalm 97:2, Isaiah 45:7. I know you might be inquiring why so much religious material. Well, in a lot of cases, the Bible is the only source of reference. The scribe who was writing that was living in those times and writing about it and equating it all to God, you know. Artistic representation, Mary the Younger Dryas. In the beginning, someone left a comment, that was nice. In the beginning, he created Elohim, the heavens and the earth. And the earth, she became chaos and vacancy, and darkness over faces of abyss, and spirit of Elohim vibrating over surfaces of the waters. You know, every version of Genesis that I hear or read, it seems different. Kind of the same, but different. Which one is true? That's the thing. You're dependent on someone else's interpretation. Interpretations can be molded. But I think when they were writing about the times, I don't know why they would have any reason to lie about that. Now, Holocene extinction, deathly environmental conditions, frozen tsunami tides of large flora and fauna, probably dead, just floating around. Imagine how that would have been. Earth increases in charge and mass. Large-eyed mud dwellers. Clovis culture incinerated in North America. We talked about that. Anxiety of soggy, bedarkened survivors. Absolutely. Just think, man. You know, what was the name of that Alice Cooper song? Oh my goodness. It's been so long, I can't remember. Raped and Freezing? Yeah. Earth's descent from lateral to subpolar. Now here, I don't know if it would have caused a cataclysm, but anytime the Earth is going to displace from where it's at and begin a new rotation, I would assume so. So that was another one. Shuri, 1912, Saturn Planetary System, Proto-Saturn Nebula. Earth begins subpolar rotation. Chaotic clouds of debris. Cardona, 1982, Proto-Saturn Nebula and spiral approach to the Sun. Yes, it made a spiral approach. Thornhill, 1998 and Company. cathode flaring of red Saturn protostar. B. Comet-like acceleration towards the sun, with the Earth in toto, probably. 4. Cook. Earth enters outer envelope of Saturn's plasma sphere. Earth's spiral descent through plasma plumes of the polar configuration, flaring and instabilities of the Pirac column at double layers. And we got some pictures to look at here. There's Earth, the Pirac column, plasma stream. Intense aurora plasma column as determined from extensive GPS survey of petroglyphs worldwide. Looking at petroglyphs and breaking them, putting them all kind of into what they seem the most. That's amazing right there. So planets were encased in that, huh? Just think, towering over their heads. What would you think of it? Pretty crazy looking. Conical inflow of a current conducting plasma column. The flow is from top to bottom with striations in the body of the column, and the beginning of a plasma feature at top center. These experimental photographs pertain to a 5MV 3MA plasma. Ceremonial cup from Ica, Nazca, Peru. Lightning Brothers, Australia. I always dug those guys. Pretty hip. Two-headed figurine from the Cayenne. And that's the pictures there. This here, video reconstruction, looking south. Oh, that's mighty cool. I've seen it before. It's neat. Hello. Make it smaller. Video reconstruction looking south as electron streamers trail away toward the ball plasmoids of the Pirac column. Animation by Richard Smith. That's a pretty good job. Electron streamers rushed past Earth, joining the Pirac column below, the Saturn system above. Yeah, just encased like a little catacomb. Cocoon. That's what I meant to say. Like a little cocoon. Polygraph pictures of what this formation must have looked like or something. Yeah, that's the Squatter Man. We know that. I got one of those t-shirts. It's pretty cool. Depiction of an intense aurora funnel. Figures showed both down flowing and upflowing Brooklyn currents contain two concentric sheets. Oblique upward view, right side view, barely discernible at the lower center are the Z-pinch instabilities. Yeah, that's like that's supernova 1987. Okay, let's see what this is. 3 flares of the Pirac column. Blindingly bright ball plasmoids. Genesis 1-3 Maori cosmology, Hawaiian cosmology, Nazca artifacts, Göbekli Tepe architecture, Levantine Neolithic masks, Oh yeah, those masks are cool. I've always been drawn to them. Wouldn't mind getting a couple, for the living room. I'm serious. Be a cool piece of art to have in your house. I like to be a little eclectic. Oh my, man, these words, they're just so foreign to me.
Ometepe.
Ometepe Island head dressing figures. Novelli Cordy artifacts. Columbia River headdress faces. Nazca headdress figures. Land of Fire. Heart of the Earth. Heart of the Sky. Chinese cosmology. There's just so much here, man. Three Fates. Colombo River. Standing or squatting luminous humanoid. Hebrew cosmology. The first one was the three flares of the Pratt column. And I see, that's pretty cool. Look at that dude. It's just chilling. Nice mugshot. Man, that's pretty tall. Look at that. That's got to be really old. It looks old. Let me fix this. Try to get it all in there for you. Ural Mountains. This must be some old wood guy they found. There's just so much of it. It's crazy. After a while, you begin to learn, oh yeah, well that's when Saturn was, when you'll start seeing things once you get to know this. So everything had to do with this. Everything in our culture. It's amazing. Zigzag. I don't know where that zigzag rolling papers. And they got it from the Zigzag Devil. Artifacts. More drawings. They're looking at it. And they're drawing it there. Or doing however they do it. One thing that really amazes me is how well this stuff seems to have held up through so long a period of time. When things degrade so fast in the sun. I bought a thing to practice with baseball in the backyard, so you don't have to go to the park. And it stayed out in the backyard all summer, and the damn thing's no good anymore. It's bleached all out from being in the sun, just from being out in the sun for one summer. Just imagine, I know that there's rocks with writing in them that are 20 years later, and it's embedded into the rock 20 years later, it's gone. But this stuff seems to hold up. They must have had some kind of a technique, or it was protected. Yeah, work like that. How can that stay like that for thousands of years? It's kind of crazy, actually, when you think about it. All this stuff, and I'd like to see it all. I guess we got to keep going to different ones. Seen that before. Oh, that's pretty hip. A lot of this work is just amazing. Taki, Aztec mother goddess. Okay, then we move here to 9000 BC to 8347, early Boreal Mesolithic. Jupiter and Saturn as dwarf star companions of the Sun during the Neolithic. Janelle Cook. TZO Betelgeuse, possible candidate for a brown dwarf anode inside a red giant cathode. Plasma sheath. Analogous to Proto-Saturn. So they're saying the Betelgeuse might be like a Proto-Saturn with planets inside of it. that would have life. You know, they got this myth about Beetlejuice that it's a red supergiant that's ready to go supernova at any time, or maybe it already has. I think that's all a bunch of poppycock. It's just ridiculous. Stars can't be nuclear engines. They just can't be. I think it from the way it looks, anybody that has a charge could possibly become a star. I mean, the line between planet and star is getting grayer and grayer, isn't it? So Betelgeuse might be a star with life. It would reach all the way to Jupiter if it was in our solar system. So all those planets are inside that plasma sheath, orbiting or maybe staying still. I don't know. Probably orbiting, I would think. And there's the inside of Proto-Saturn, brown dwarf. What they're surmising. Proto-Saturn is a brown dwarf with a red giant plasma shell. So it's a red giant on the outside, but a brown dwarf on the inside. Aha. Incoming light blocked by opaque plasmasphere. That would be the sun. Archaic Axis Mundi. Talbot Cohen. I've seen that before. M87 jet, suggestive of the Herbig-Haro object, like plasma stream from Proto-Saturn. And that's a pretty good timetable here. I mean, like I said, maybe we couldn't never find out without any detail, but we got a lot of smart people on it. Like I said before, human beings are smart. They figure things out. Okay. Then we move to the early hypsothermal. Earth averaged several degrees warmer than modern day. More rainfall in subtropical regions. Ring rain. Let's take a look at this. Climactic optimum. Holocene temperatures. So it goes way down here and starts to linger a little bit above zero here. So during Earth's subpolar orbit, we had change of season for the first time. Summer-winter conditions under the south pole of Saturn. Started to experience what it was like to have seasons. Then we get as above, so below. Neolithic cultural mimesis. Early communal settlements. Göbekli Tepe continued 9130 to 8800 BC. Neveli Kori, Keanu. Early Levantine tells 9000 to 8500. Doggerland Fishing Bank. Now you know about Doggerland, right? That just went bye-bye. It's where the English Channel is now. Man, you know, that would be one of our worst fears, to just all of a sudden be at the bottom of the ocean or the channel. Creative novelties of Neolithic culture. Formative aspects of culture, language, social organization, proto-religious sentiments. Artifacts demonstrate lack of violence and warfare. The only thing that's bad about religion that I see is that other people have expectations that you must do this or else. That's the worst. That's the wrong position to take. People should be flocking to you instead of trying to get away 3, from day to night. So this is when we first got introduced to day and night, 8347 BC. Paret column collapses, ball plasmoids depart. Maori mythos, the quiche of Maya mythos. I assume those are books of their myths. Mesoamerican cosmology, the Popol Vuh. I like to say that, the Popol Vuh. Crow cosmology, Hopi cosmology. Phoenix's triple death rebirth. Whoa. Man, I'd like to get into some of that. The Phoenix. Well, I guess we will. Phoenix's triple death rebirth. Vishnu measures the earth 3 times. Long count as end of first creation. The kilo year event. I have to find out what that is. Polar configuration now. Visible. Plasmasphere shrinking. Mesoamerica, Council of 6 Gods. Powers overhead in the north. Cook. Glowing stream of archaic axis mundi. And that's the Talbot column. Vandersluis. So we'll take a look at this. 8347. That's what it looks like. We've seen that. Oh, that's a good picture. Post-glacial sea level rise under archaic skies. Metamorphic star. Dardu Cordona. That's a cool picture. Number 4, post-glacial sea level rise. Periodic flooding of northern Europe, 8500 to 6200. Getting closer. Former landmass of North Sea, Doggerland. That was just collapsed. Just went right there. Oh, that's suggested wetlands of Antarctica. If Earth's poles were ice-free. Yeah. So let's take a look at some of these pictures here. Reconstruction of early Neolithic Doggerland. Right there. I guess there was a little bit of a channel. That's pretty cool. What is that? Didn't read it. NASA rendering of Antarctica's landmass. 1531 AD, or 531 if you think that the one was put there, of Antarctica, purportedly based on Egyptian maps 2,000 years older. We have periodic flooding of northern Europe, 8,500 to 6,200, former landmass, North Sea, Antarctica free of ice. Post-glacial flooding prompts migration northward. Now we're at 8347 to 6200, the late Boreal Neolithic. Boreal. The winds, the Boreas. The Boreas. I remember there was that saying, the Hyperboreans. The Neolithic Revolution. We got pictures. Right here. Mutation of gene OCA2 produces first blue-eyed humans near the Black Sea. Earth rings, a prominent yet widely misunderstood aspect of the ancient world. It shows the firmament, the arch of night, heaven of fire, Greeks and others. Ocean of heaven, yeah, they called it the ocean of heaven. Firmament with the stars. the word playage from the Pelestians and also the Palladians. Here they didn't use vowels in the ancient world. So the word plage is French for beach, I think. I'm thinking that, they may think that we came from, by that name, we came from the ocean of heaven. Pillars of earth, primeval ocean, underworld. It's a good picture. Looks like some cubicles. Okay. So here we get early worldview of the ancients, waters, above and below, glow of encompassing plasmasphere, sea of space, of the Edda. I've heard that word before.
Shmime, mime.
Yeah, what he said. Of Genesis, spirit waters, ether, the firmament, equatorial rings, abyss or deep, shadow beneath rings, petroglyphs commemorating the Parat column, tokens writing simple tokens as representative of Parat instabilities. This is when they were doing the firmament. They imagined, this is where the flat earth starts to come in, when they were imagining the earth was flat and there was a big dome. Sheol, columns of the earth, firmament in the sky. Heaven begins, bodies of light. Okay, this is Buddhist cosmology. 4 heavens of the mental bodied. 16 heavens of beings with bodies of light. 5 heavens of gods of the desire realm. 4 world guardians. Realm of desire with beings of gross form. You go down here from the joyless realm, great wailing, great darkness, up to the fire, still in the joyless realm, smoke, swamp, sand, water, thorns, gravel, water, the Nagas, the Asuras, human beings and animals are here on the earth disk. It is called the realm of desire with beings of gross form. 4 world guardians, 5 heavens of gods of the desire realm. And there's 16 heavens of beings with bodies of light. You see? I told you, we have no idea what kind of life forms are out there. There's this term called life as we know it. Things that breathe in and out. But there is nothing that says that there are not creatures that could live in space. I wouldn't doubt if there is. It's the realm of form, and then in the formless realm you have 4 heavens of the mental body. The firmament. It's that Inca cosmos. So that's what the Incas thought. Well, it would only be natural to think like that before you know what your surroundings are till you can get far enough away to take a look at them. You know that saying, can't see the forest for the trees? Hindu cosmology, we're on the back of a giant turtle. It's the term in the firmament. It's funny, we still call it the firmament. There's the chariot of the sun. This is Norse cosmology. From the Norse, the Vikings. Must spell Jotunheim, Nephilim, so that's a Norse thing, the Nephilim. It looks like Nephilim. I have to put my, where are my glasses? They're always never where you need them. Oh, hell. And Hebrew cosmology is, it's called the Helid. It's our period. Hell, it. Dragons. This guy here, this guy's fishing. Midgard. Asgard. This is must be where Thor and Odin live. Creatures in the sea. Navajo cosmos. Okay. That's what they pictured. Okay, that's it. Yeah, we did that Hebrew cosmology, the firmament in the sky, the sun, floodgates. Yeah, they actually thought that there were gigantic floodgates above them with doors that occasionally opened. The moon there, columns of mountains, the abyss, columns of the earth, so it was held up by columns. That's pretty good.